Hey, it's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and after 4 months of waiting, yes, 4 months, the 2022 Tundra was announced on September 17th of 2021, and you're seeing this today on February 1st of 2022, or then plus some. We finally have details on the 2022 Toyota Tundra iForce Max Hybrid. This is the one that has the hybrid powertrain. We finally have fuel economy numbers, and we finally have the pricing numbers. Here a little bit on this channel, you see Jill's first try review. She went from me to California to drive it, and you'll see all the driving impressions. But before we get to that, I want to get to the mile per gallon and the pricing, because I think it's really important to take that out and really share with you those details. So let's start first of all with the fuel economy. We know that this iForce Max has 437 horsepower, it's got 583 foot-pounds of torque, it's a towing machine, and the numbers bear it out. And as you can see on the screen, EPA estimated fuel economy. So for the two-wheel drive, you have 20, 24, 22. Now that hybrid, I gotta say it right, people make fun of me, is only available in limited platinum and 1794. The four-wheel drive version of that truck gets 19, 22, 21, limited platinum 1794 and capstone. The TRD Pro, because it's got the off-road tires, lift, that kind of stuff to it, the bigger stance, all that kind of stuff, physics, gets a little bit less fuel economy because of how it's set up. And so you can see the differences here from a combined number standpoint. It's about 2 mile per gallon difference. On the two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive, you have 2 mile per gallon better in city. And interesting, on two-wheel drive, you don't have anything better on highway. And on the, versus SR, versus the limited, SR5 limited platinum 794, correct me, this little screwy, you do get a little bit better fuel economy on Highway 1. On the 4x4, you can see just a little bit better improvements, and the TRD Pro just, well, it's a big, tall truck. It's not going to get as much. If you're curious, the how this factors versus the 2021 F-150 hybrid, their Power Boost version, their hybrid version, Jill has a great analysis going on pickuptrucktalk.com right now, spec by spec comparison. You can compare both hybrid trucks together. Let's go to pricing, because that's been a big conversation piece on pricing. Let me get to that sheet right there. So we finally have pricing, and so this starts off with the SR5 two-wheel drive, but the reality is you can't get the hybrid until you get to limited. So let's scroll all the way down. There we go. So we can see a limited two-wheel drive starts at $52,300. And if you look at the limited two-wheel drive up here in the 500-foot bed, let me find it. It's going to be right here. $48,900. Your price difference is about $3,400. $3,400 more, and that's across the board. As you get down to more of the pricing, you will see it's about $3,400. So you're going to get about $3,400 more for 2 mile per gallon better in the hybrid. But the kicker here is you can only get the TRD Pro and capstone, those two, TRD Pro and capstone, in a hybrid configuration. Capstone $73,500, and the TRD Pro, people are asking a lot of questions about this, $66,805. Now that's without the dealer destination fee, which is about $1,500, and taxes like that. So really your TRD Pro is going to be about $68,000, and then taxes, title out the door. It's a $70,000 truck. The capstone, when you add in the dealer price and then you add in stuff like that, as far as the taxes and things, is an $80,000 truck. That's just what it is. Incredibly, that's not the most expensive half ton on the market. There's still trim levels from Ford and Ram that go higher price than that. I think even the GMC Denali Ultimate will be a higher price than that eventually when we find out pricing there. So it won't be the most expensive truck. But I just thought it was really interesting to make very clear that it's $3,400 more. You get about 2 mile per gallon better. You get more horsepower and more torque. If you look at the numbers, right? So you have the gas versus the hybrid. You get 40 horsepower better or so, and say about 100 foot-pounds more torque when you do the hybrid. Now there's been a lot of conversation on this channel. People have been commenting, well, that hybrid's got to get 30 miles per gallon, and it seems a little interesting, the strategy here. So you have the Sienna minivan comes hybrid, and it gets 40 miles per gallon. The RAV4 Prime is a great hybrid SUV, and it gets much better fuel economy than the RAV4 does. But in this case, Toyota really went for more towing. They really want to make sure that was their focus. The iForce Max is built for towing. It's going to perform like a diesel when it's off the line for towing, and it's not built for fuel economy from what I can tell, my viewpoint of these numbers. Because 2 mile per gallon difference isn't that huge of a deal. However, go look at the spec comparison that Joe's putting together. Because the power boost, the hybrid from Ford, well, that didn't blow things out of the water. It didn't get that much better fuel economy than the 2.7 liter EcoBoost. Yeah, the city mile per gallon was much higher, as you would expect with a hybrid would get better fuel economy city because it's running electric mode only, but it's not earth-shattering. So I think it's interesting. I can't wait to read you guys' comments. There'll be a lot of interesting viewpoints on whether this is going to be a disaster. They wanted to get 30 mile per gallon somehow out of a truck that didn't change its weight. That's the thing too. Like the curb weight of the Tundra didn't change. Everything they took out of the truck, they reinforced the undercarriage. So there's no changes in weight. It's just kind of physics. And again, right there, recommended fuel, 87 octane. I hear that people talk all the time about turbos needing premium fuel. There's your numbers. So those numbers are all based on 87 octane. They're all based on running that truck in the EPA test cycle. Real world numbers will be a little bit different. Although I can tell you on the 2022 Limited that I bought for this channel, I'm getting about that 4x4 number when I do the highway testing. Now, when I have fun with the truck, I don't get that number. But overall, if you drive it the way you're supposed to drive it, you do get that close to that fuel economy number, which is better to me than having numbers that don't add up. So there you go. There's my thoughts. Real quick video. Check out the videos over here. Website down below. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you down the road.